Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I'm going to share a story with you today. At the end of the story, there will be some questions. You'll know the questions are coming because they'll start with, I wonder. These questions are the kind of questions where there's no right answer or wrong answer. You might hear a question and know what the answer is right away. There might be another question that you have many answers to. And maybe there will be a question you don't have any answers to, or maybe you don't even understand the question quite. All of that is okay. You can say as many or as few answers as you have. If you're watching with someone else, you might even have different answers than they have, and that's okay too. So, let's get ourselves ready to enter the story. This is Jerusalem. And here are the walls around Jerusalem. Jerusalem was the city of David, the city of the people of God. Here is Haran. And here is Babylon. And here are the great rivers. Sometimes the people of God forget who they are. They hide from God and pretend that God isn't there. Sometimes they even worship other gods. There are also people who come so close to God, and God comes so close to them that they know what God wants them to say or do. These people are called prophets. They know the best way. Both women and men are prophets, so both girls and boys can grow up to be prophets. After King Solomon died, his kingdom was divided into two parts. A prophet named Ahijah showed that God knew this was the best way. He took off his new cloak and cut it into 12 pieces. 10 pieces were for the tribes that were around the city of Samaria, the capital of the northern kingdom. And 2 pieces were for the tribes that were around Jerusalem, the capital of the southern kingdom. Some prophets, like Elijah and Elisha, left none of their own words. They were either lost or never written down. Others wrote down what God told them to say, or some of their friends wrote down their words. I want to show you something about the ones who left their words for us. The words are on 4 scrolls. Here are 4 small scrolls to help us remember. This one is very interesting. It has the writing of 12 prophets on it. This one is called Isaiah, but it really has the words of 3 Isaiahs. This scroll has all the words of Ezekiel. And this scroll has all the words of Jeremiah. Now let's see what happened. Here is the southern kingdom. A prophet who spoke to them is Amos. Let me read something from this scroll. And these are the words of Amos. I hate I despise your feasts, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Take away from me the noise of your songs. To the melody of your harps I will not listen. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Amos spoke for God to the priests and to the king. This is what all the prophets did. Now here are the names of all of the prophets on this scroll: Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. One day the southern kingdom was conquered by Assyria. Then the Assyrians surrounded Jerusalem. The people were afraid, but the Assyrians went away. Isaiah of Jerusalem said that the kingdom would fall, but that a remnant, a few of the people, would be saved. It was not the Assyrians, but the Babylonians who took the city, and they took many people away into exile. The second Isaiah must have been one of those people who was taken, and he wrote his words in Babylon. He said that there would be a highway made straight in the desert, that they would go home one day. He was hopeful. The third Isaiah was one of the people who went back to Jerusalem. The people there were not really glad to see him and the others who returned. The city was still broken down. Many of the walls were still black from the fires the Babylonians had set. This Isaiah helped the people and the priests get ready for a time when they would not have their own king. Jeremiah stayed in Jerusalem. He said that the city would fall, but that the people of Jerusalem would not understand what he was talking about. Finally, when the Babylonians came, he and Baruch, his scribe, went to Egypt with some others to be safe. But he was very sad. Ezekiel wrote in Babylon. He was taken away with one of the first groups, even before Jerusalem was torn down. He was a prophet in his new home. He told the people in exile that Jerusalem would be destroyed and that they would not go home soon. After Jerusalem was destroyed, he had visions of hope that they would go home again. They would be like dry bones in a valley that put themselves back together again, turned into people, and walked to their old home. These are most of the prophets in the Old Testament. We know a lot about them because their words were written down a long time ago. Today there are still prophets. They speak to the rulers, to the priests, the ministers and rabbis, and to the people. They still say and do what God wants them to. They help all of us know the true way to live and die. Prophets come from all kinds of places and are all kinds of people, just like you. So some of you may become prophets or might be prophets now. Now, I wonder what you like best about the prophets. I wonder what's most important about the prophets. I wonder if you know any prophets, or if any prophets know you. I wonder if the prophets in the Bible are all the prophets we need.